Gauteng. Right, the world celebrates World Breastfeeding Week from August the 1st to the 7th every year to spread awareness about its importance and need. The World Health Organization and UNICEF recommend that an infant must be breastfed within an hour of birth and should continue at least for the first 6 months of the child's life. Joining me on the line is Azraa Suleman from Leche League. It's a voluntary organization which provides information and support to women who want to breastfeed their babies. And I hope I'm saying that correct. Azraa, assalamu alaikum. Shukran for joining me.
Walaikum salam wa rahmatullah. Jazakallah for having me.
It's a pleasure. Okay, am I saying it correct? Leche League.
Yes, it is La Leche League.
All right, alhamdulillah. Right, so let us go through first the history of World Breastfeeding Week and why is it important?
Okay, so La Leche League International was actually formed in 1956 in Franklin Park by a group of 7 mothers in the USA. So they wanted to provide breastfeeding support to interested women. At that time, formula was being fed where moms were going to work, and that was like the in thing at that time. So 2 mothers by the name of Mary White and Marian Thompson, they were breastfeeding their children basically at a church picnic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And many other women expressed interest or told them that they had wanted to breastfeed, but they failed. And they realized that, you know what, this is a movement that really needs to be brought about. So that is how La Leche League came about. So it started off from USA and then, from word of mouth. At the time, wasn't so much of media as such. So it's word of mouth, and we started getting letters from other countries and things like that, where mothers were also interested. And that's where about came the Leche League leaders. So we are a group of leaders throughout the world. There's leaders all over the world.
Mm-hmm.
In South Africa itself, we have over 40 leaders, with 30 to 40 leaders in South Africa. We are just normal moms. Some are professionals, some are just housewives, some are working, some are not working. We decided to become volunteers to help moms with breastfeeding advice. And not just any advice, or not what you heard from your mother, or you heard from this one, or you heard from that one. All the information is fact-based and is evidence-searched as well. So you're not going to get your normal information from this one or that one, or from this one's experience or that one. Yes, we do take from mom's experience, from other ladies' experience, and all those type of things. But then everything is research. So every information that we provide to moms, we have evidence-based and facts for why this is good for baby or why this is not good for baby, and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are the benefits of breastfeeding for both the mother and the child? I mean, we hear that breastfeeding is best, and breast milk has so many benefits, etc. So, can you please share some of those benefits on both the mom and the child?
Okay, so there's so many benefits for mom and the baby. Remember, the best thing, and there's almost nothing you can do for your child in his life that will affect him both emotionally as well as physically, as profound as breastfeeding, right? Human milk, it provides a specific nutrition that baby needs to grow, both in size and maturity. And everyone's milk is made in order for your baby, right? So I'll give you a small example. For example, if a baby is sick, right, and baby has a flu or any sickness that baby has, when baby suckles onto the mom, the saliva of the baby goes into the mother's breast, right? And then the body absorbs that and then recognizes that, hey, you know what, this baby is sick, what can we do? And then the body makes milk or antibodies for the baby to fight whatever infections does baby have. So that's just one of the most amazing miracles, also a miracle of Allah, and something that cannot be made by man at all. It's also protective against illnesses like painful ear infections, cold, viruses, allergies, diabetes, certain childhood cancers. That's just one of the benefits that baby gets from the milk. Baby also, through your breast milk, you also give your babies immunity to diseases or illnesses that which you are into and those which you have been exposed. So, for example, if mom is sick, or now this whole COVID corona situation, mothers are encouraged to actually breastfeed throughout the COVID because the body recognizes that mom is sick. So the body will now make antibodies via the breast milk to fight the infection so baby doesn't get sick as well. That's just many of the benefits that's important for the child. And also what the physical benefits for the mother is reduced rates of breast cancer, uterine, cervical, and ovarian cancer. The time saved for mothers also means sterilizing bottles and waking up at night and on in the kettle and all that time saving, as well as it's cheaper as well. I mean, formula, we know how expensive it is now. So yes, there is a place for formula. We're not saying that there isn't a place for formula, but we at the Leche League, we try and give the correct information, because many a times moms stop breastfeeding not because they can't breastfeed or not because they don't want to breastfeed. Many a times it's misinformation and not correct information. And the biggest thing in South Africa itself is that we do not have the support from families, support from doctors, support from hospitals, from supporting staff. Moms don't get the support to breastfeed, and that's one of our main reasons why the breastfeeding stats in South Africa is so low.
Hmm. And it's funny because most of us grew up knowing that breastfeeding is what we have to do, and now all of a sudden, people feel like breastfeeding is something new that just started now, or this just started like a couple of 10 years ago, and that's not the case. Breastfeeding has always been around. So why is something so natural looked down upon? And the funny thing is that. The the people who want to or who speak against breastfeeding are probably the same people who've been breastfed and just now decided that they have a different view on it. Now, let's go back to working moms, as you mentioned earlier, that you also help and support working moms. For working moms who aren't always available to breastfeed the babies, how can their babies still get the breast milk and its benefits, some of the benefits that you've mentioned?
Okay. So one thing that we do say to moms is whatever breast milk you can provide to your baby, whether it's one bottle a day or even half a bottle a day, a little breast milk goes a long way. Another thing that I think I could touch up on, breastfeeding isn't just about feeding a baby and filling a baby's stomach. Breastfeeding is so much more than that. It's an emotional bond between mom and child. It's a bond that's unbreakable, it's unshakable, and that bond carries on, stems from childhood right up to the child has achieved maturity. So we always say this: a baby is feeling sick, baby wants to breastfeed. If baby is feeling sad, baby will want to breastfeed. If baby is feeling insecure, baby wants to breastfeed. So sometimes moms will say, you know what, this baby's on the breast the entire time. What is the reason? I think my baby's not getting enough milk. So many a times that moms will realize that babies don't only feed when they're hungry. They feed for all sorts of reasons. They literally don't have a reason to breastfeed. They want to breastfeed. It's their source of comfort. It's their source of a safe spot. Everyone has a safe spot, and you are baby's safe spot, especially if a baby was 9 months with you. When they come out into this big world, there's noises, colors, sounds that they are not used to, and you are someone that they are used to. So they're going to want to breastfeed because that's the closest they can feel to you than other being in your stomach as well. Getting back to the working and breastfeeding, sorry, I just went off topic for a few seconds. Right. So when moms breastfeed and are now going back to work, right? So they have to consider the options of returning to work, right? Obviously, one of the things that they should do is try and take the longest maternity leave that's available to them. Then they can can they work part-time from home? Is it possible to share their job with another employee? If, for example, now this becomes too much for them and they cannot manage to get all this, and now they need to be away from baby for the entire day or half a day, it's not a train smash. Many a times, moms manage to express milk. There is no need for them to have like a whole freezer stash of milk. Not at all. Many times they only need milk for like the first 2 days, because when they're away from baby, they will need to breastfeed. And for the first 6 months of baby's life, mom is supposed to be given by her employer time to actually go and express milk besides her lunch break. So if, for example, that a mother doesn't know the laws of breastfeeding in our country, she can go and check up on them, and they cannot refuse her the pumping time for her baby, especially for the first 6 months, because that's when baby needs to be exclusively breastfed, where baby's not being given any solids and baby's milk is needed 101%. They should try and introduce bottle if they need to give baby bottle. Remember, many moms don't even give bottle to the baby. Babies are fed via syringe feeding, teaspoon feeding, cup feeding, or through a sippy cup. Breast milk doesn't only need to be given via the bottle.
Mm-hmm. All right, Azra, please stay on the line. We're going to take a quick break, but we'll continue when we return.
Okay.
The combined dam levels for the Port Elizabeth area is at a shocking 11%. 1 July is day zero for the Kucha Dam, resulting in dry taps for hundreds of families in the surrounding areas of Port Elizabeth. Help us strategize. Support our water drive in the Eastern Cape region of South Africa. Donate your lilla towards the erecting of JoJo tanks in impoverished areas and for the vehicles to deliver water in areas of need. Donate to the Al-Fida Foundation. Visit our website at www.alfida.co.za or contact us at 041 484 1288.
Looking to get your kick? Kiki's have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Famine, conflict, and severe economic decline make the humanitarian crisis in Yemen the worst in the world. More than 20 million Yemenis do not know where their next meal is coming from, and over 10 million are suffering extreme levels of hunger. With your support, the Al-Imdad Foundation delivers essential food aid to starving Yemeni communities. It's a question of survival. So let's do what's right. Donate online at alimdad.com. or call 0861 786 243 for more information.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Ridge Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Sustain, sacrifice, share. This Eid al-Adha, donate your Qurbani through Africa Muslims Agency. We ensure that your Udhiyah Qurbani not only feeds the poor, but creates sustainable incomes for local farmers, brings the practice of sacrifice to the villages, and shares the spirit of Eid. Sponsor in South Africa for 2,400 Rand. Africa, 1,500 Rand. Palestine, 6,150 Rand. Syria, 4,000 Rand. Donate online at africamuslimsagency.co.za or call 011-834-8685. Africa Muslims Agency, inspiring the spirit of giving.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
It is Breastfeeding Week from the 1st of August to the 7th of August every year. And I'm chatting to Azraa Suleman from Leche League, South Africa, a voluntary organization which provides information and support to women who want to breastfeed their babies. Azraa, shukran for staying on the line. Now, how does breastfeeding contribute to a healthier planet? Azraa?
Hello, Mark, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
I think I lost you there for a few seconds.
Right. No problem.
You asked?
How does breastfeeding contribute to a healthier planet?
Okay, one of the main things that will attribute to a healthier planet is if more moms breastfeed, it means less formula being sold. Less formula being sold will mean one of the things will be less tins in the if you about recycling and things like that. Another thing that's for healthier children.
Your line is breaking. If you can just move around a bit, perhaps we can clear it a bit.
Okay. Is this better?
Yes, it is.
Okay. as I was saying, is a healthier planet is more breastfeeding mothers, more breastfeeding children. More breastfeeding children will lead to more breastfed adults, who in turn will breastfeed their children. And by having healthier adults, the children will need less medical intervention, less medication for children, because now babies are getting the adequate milk at their infants, and they are getting the antibodies and the immunity that are needed right through their lifetime, not just only when they are babies. The breastfed babies, it lasts them right through their lifetime. If you ask many moms that had formula-fed children and breastfed children, they themselves can tell you the difference. I can give you my own personal example. Myself, I was very misinformed with breastfeeding myself. I came to know the Leche League with my third child. With my first two children, I stopped breastfeeding at 9 months, and with my second two children, alhamdulillah, I managed to breastfeed them for the full term of 2 years. I can tell you the vast difference in both my children. Besides the bond with your child. I'm not saying that if you're having a formula-fed child, you're going to have a less bond, but a mom that has a breastfed bond will understand the difference between a child that was not breastfed to a child that was breastfed. You will understand the implications of health-wise. My two younger children always get better much faster than my first two children. My first child always had this infection and that infection, and this was wrong with him and that was wrong with him. Whereas the children, yes, health and sickness comes from Allah, that we understand, and there is a place for that, definitely. But the breastfeeding definitely does make a big difference in your child's health. And in turn, if your child was breastfed, your child learned about breastfeeding from a young age as well, because seeing their siblings being breastfed, they get married, they're going to encourage their wives, they're going to make sure themselves they breastfeed, because it's how they grew up. I do know myself, when I gave birth, around me there wasn't much woman that breastfed, so I didn't get the correct information with my first child and my second child. And through the grace of Allah, I came to know of Leche League through a cousin of mine, and that is one of the reasons I myself became a leader, is because there's so less information out there, especially within the Muslim community. In South Africa, there are only 3 Muslim leaders. I'm the only one in Johannesburg, and there's 2 leaders in Cape Town. Other than that, within the Muslim community, we are only 3 Muslim leaders throughout the country.
Wow, that's so sad. Now, quickly just tell us, what does a leader do? Perhaps those who are listening, if there's anyone interested in becoming a leader as well, they can get some information.
Yes. So to be a leader, you don't need to have a degree or anything of that sort. It's basically getting in touch with another leader. One of the main requisites of being a leader is that you must have breastfed your child for more than a year or so, so you can give your information as well to a mom. So we give mother-to-mother support in a way where it's not like we go to a doctor where it's impersonal. We are very personal with the mothers. We listen to them, we empathize with them, we sympathize with them. We help them in where they want to help. We do not force our opinions onto moms. If they come to us with a certain problem or a certain opinion, we are there for them. If a mom just wants to offload, she's allowed to offload on us. We don't just help moms with breastfeeding in that way. We help moms for the emotional need as well, where we help moms. For example, they're having a hard day of breastfeeding. This baby's been feeding the entire day. I don't know what to do. So they're getting the support from the right person makes a big difference. We all know, they say a village grows up a child. And we try to be that village for mothers. We try to be that village for ladies that are breastfeeding, that are having a tough time. Some moms have it easy and they don't need the help throughout the breastfeeding journey. Some moms have it difficult and they need that extra help and they need that extra support. And it really makes a big difference knowing that they have someone to turn to. I know I had that person, and I try, and all the leaders try to be that person for the many moms that contact us. Many of us, we can be contacted via WhatsApp. We have the Leche League South Africa page and a group. So moms can obviously join the group and then post their questions on the group, and then we as leaders answer them to the best of our ability. If, for example, they need more help beyond our scope, then we do refer them to a doctor or whatever it is that's needed for that mother. But they do know the first step lies with us. We can help them to a certain extent. We also host group meetings, monthly meetings. Because of COVID, at the moment, there's been no in-person meetings, but we have a whole range of Zoom meetings. Because of World Breastfeeding Week, we're having a meeting every day. So moms are welcome to join the meeting. There's no charge. We don't charge a fee of anything of that sort. If moms want to donate to the Leche League or become a member of the Leche League, that is helpful to us to run our organization.
Mm-hmm. All right. Now, this year's theme is Protect Breastfeeding, a Shared Responsibility. How do we embody this theme and support the idea of breastfeeding, especially in public?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
This year's theme is Protect Breastfeeding, a Shared Responsibility. How do we embody this theme and support the idea of breastfeeding, especially in public?
One of the things that we can do as a mother or as woman is try and support the next woman next to you. If a mother is breastfeeding and she is feeling uncomfortable, just share a smile. You know that, yes, I know what you're going through. Just a smile will lift up anyone's spirits. Or you can offer, for example, at work, offer your employees a room to go and pump. I mean, it's not fair. Many women, they don't have a room where they need to pump. Many of them are pumping at the desk. Many of them are pumping in the bathroom. Many of them are pumping in the toilet. I mean, would you like to eat in the toilet?
No.
Why should a child be eating in the toilet?
Exactly.
You know, if you see a mom that's breastfeeding, don't look at her like she's disgusting. It's not. Breastfeeding should not be sexualized because it is not sexualized. It is a mother feeding her child. Like how you are eating, that is what the child is doing. The baby is eating and he is eating or she is eating via the mother or via.
Mm-hmm. Azraa?
Sorry about that, Mark. I think I just had a bit of a connection issue.
All right.
So that's the best way that you can support. Another thing that I find that needs to be more support is if our partners can support their wives and people around the woman that just had a baby to give that support. So I think the best way to support a mother or to support your partner is to get informed. If you have the information, you'll know what to do. So when a mother is pregnant, don't leave everything to your wife or don't leave everything to the mother. Do the research with her. So when she's going through something, you can tell her, why don't you speak to a leader? Oh, I read this on this website. Can you check this out here? Instead of just saying, in many cases, you know what? Just give the baby formula. Just give the baby formula. It will be so much easier. Try to encourage breastfeeding for as long as you can. And support goes a long way in any situation, not even in just breastfeeding. In any situation in life, if you have the correct support and you have the correct information, it can really grow to something that's beautiful. It can grow into something that's bigger and that we can normalize breastfeeding. It needs to be normalized. Formula should not be normalized. Breastfeeding needs to be normalized.
I mean, even on the formula tins, they say that breast milk is the best. So, when we pick it up, that should say something to us. And another problem that we have is, this pressure that we get from family, especially from our own mothers, when it comes to breastfeeding our child, is they always just want to throw in like, but the child will become too attached to you. The child is growing up, and the child shouldn't be breastfeeding until 2 years, and you need to get back to work. So what are you gonna do, etc., etc. Now, okay, we don't have much time on our side, but quickly, what can you say to that, and what advice can you give to women who are going through such things with their families?
What I found that worked for a lot of moms that I was in contact with is to get themselves informed. So, for example, if a person tells them, you know what, your child is going to breastfeed for the rest of your life, for the rest of the child's life, so you need to stop breastfeeding. The mother should say, you know what, this is actually not true, and give the correct information. Many times it tells the person, you know what, I need to keep quiet now. This lady knows what she's saying. So the best thing a mother can do for herself is to get informed. And remember, at the end of the day, it's her child and it's her baby. It's not your child. Yes, it's your grandchild, but the first responsibility needs to go to the child, which is to be breastfed by the mother. And besides that, the Islamic point of view is to breastfeed the child for 2 years. minimum 2 years. So that itself gives a mother a reason to say, if it wasn't good for the child, if it wasn't good for the child, why would Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam or the Quran tell us to breastfeed for 2 years?
All right. Azraa, shukran so much for your time and thank you for joining me. But quickly before you go, how can we contact the Leche League?
Okay, the Leche League can be contacted. You can go onto our website, which is www.lllsa.org. That's www.lllsa.org. And just go on to that website, and our contact details are there. We have leaders throughout the country, so you can see who is nearest to you, and then you can contact the leader. But you don't need to contact the leader near you. You can contact any leader, any number on there, and we will be able to help you.
All right. Jazakallah so much and have a wonderful day. Assalamu alaikum.
Jazakallah so much for having me. Wa alaikum salam.
Azraa Suleman from Leche League SA, taking us through World Breastfeeding Week, which is an annual celebration which is held every year from the 1st to the 7th of August. And this year's theme around protect breastfeeding, a shared responsibility. And indeed, if it's a shared responsibility, it should be a shared responsibility. We should support our breastfeeding mothers, sisters, daughters, everyone out there who wants to breastfeed. If you have any further comments, questions, queries, or suggestions, please send them to us on WhatsApp. The number is 061 766 0355. Do stay with us.